Sorry. Sorry, I was watching this freaking video that was this guy explaining why the fucking AI thing isn't a bubble, which is completely fair, I guess, but I mean, clearly left out like a bunch, or left out the fucking art thing, probably because by this point, like, I don't know. Um, I said this guy definitely straight up just like didn't even want to worry about it. Anyway, um, okay. I don't know. He didn't really say anything about art, which makes sense. It's always really funny though, because that's like always been the main topic, but I guess just like normal, they forgot, hi Tiger, how's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hoping well for you. Yeah, I don't know. He was, what do I call it? He was just explaining like why it wasn't like a bubble and everything. Hi, Bako, how's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hoping well for you. I still gotta notify the Discord that I am live, but, Okay. You guys should have a voice right about now. So, for YouTube, give it a minute, but everything else should be regular.
Okay, that's cool. Bye. Take care.
What's cool? What's cool? Wait, what?
Shaggy. Yeah.
Hello. How's work? How's errands? How's your day in general, Bacon? What's cool?
Okay, bye.
Shaggy's cool? Okay. What about you, Tiger Feather? You still here? I'm gonna assume you're the same one from Telegram. If you're still there. Are you still there? Or Icarus, or...
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Alright. Cool, cool. Alright, so, yeah, I don't know. We're not watching this video today, I
don't know who you're talking about, though I don't have Telegram.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Someone messaged me on Telegram, so I didn't know exactly if it was like, I'm assuming
Unless
it
you were
was a
talking about
person
someone
from
else.
Twitch. Yeah, it was from someone else. Yeah, no, there was, what do you call it? I was watching this video earlier talking about the frickin' talking about the AI bubble, like fucking, or the AI bubble doesn't exist.
Ah.
What do I call it? He was talking about how like the AI bubble doesn't exist. We're not watching this today. I just watched it earlier, but it was interesting. It was like kind of interesting. You want to know the funny thing that he never mentioned?
I've been in a few streams before this, not many though.
New streams before this, not many though. That's fair. Yeah, you wanna know the one thing this fucking video never mentioned though? It never mentioned art, which is hilarious because I think he's just so fucking tired of like, it's very clear that it's like by this point, like everybody knows that like AI is not going to replace artists, but I just really, really wish you would just like, bring that up. I wish you would bring it up, but I just don't think I just don't think everybody, like every person by this point realizes that now it's like if something, is made by AI, they're not going to pay for it. So, why would you pay for someone that put in zero effort? So, it's crazy, but it's true. Anyway, we've already talked about AI many, 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 many times. So, you guys don't really care, and that's fine. Don't care anymore about it, and that is okay. So, ooh, hello. This is cool. Hold on. Sorry. Hey, look at this. Oop,
That's
that's
a lot of
not it.
times.
What's up? A lot of times. Oh yeah, dude. Every single. You probably weren't here when I did, but like, sorry, this character looks cool as shit. It looks like a Harry Potter character, kind of, but like technological. I don't know. This is a really good design. Like, look at the hair. It's beautiful. Anyway, um, even the white strokes too. Good on them. Yeah, hands could use a bit of
Howdy, howdy.
work, but hi, Junebugs. How was work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hoping well for you. Yeah. In other words, like, just to shorten, like, basically, you know, me talking about it for fucking months, the short version of it is basically, like, the amount of, like, things that we looked at. The short version is basically every single fucking person that talks about AI, like, replacing artists is just never true. And, like, and by this point, like, everybody is just, like, so tired of...
That character kind of reminds me of Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human? I mean, they got the little circle thing on the top of their heads, so that makes sense. Yeah, the short version of it is basically,
Yeah.
what do you call it? The... Sorry. The short version of it is basically, how you say it? Is that just, what was I gonna say? The short version of it is basically just, like, the amount of, like,
Pretty
there's
good, my GF, and I got to go on a date.
piles of... Pretty good. My girlfriend and I got to go on a date. Hell yeah. Good for you two. Good for you two. Where'd you guys... Well, hope you guys had a... What'd you guys go on, like, date on? Or what was the date? Was it, like, a restaurant date? Was it, like, was it a dinner date? Or was it more like a, or was it, like, a long-form date thingy? Or... What the fuck? What the hell happened on my leg? The shit? Sorry. I just don't know if I have something on my leg or if it's like... What the fuck is this? Sorry, I just have this, like, spot on my leg. Weird. I don't know what this is. Odd.
Well, I gotta go, I need to sleep, but I might be back later if you're still live.
Okay. Yeah, have a good night, Tiger Feather.
We went dinner date, and after on a walk, it was funny though we ran into wife while out.
And to wife while out. Wait. We went on a dinner date. After on a walk, it was funny though. We ran into wife while out. Ran into wife. What do you mean? Aren't they your wife? Hold on. What?
There is some wild propaganda that Americans are taught and don't even realize it's propaganda.
I mean, yeah, we already knew that now, but I guess, maybe.
Now, I should preface this by stating that I am an American. I love my country. My family goes all the way back to Jamestown. My grandfather fought in World War II. I was born in Los Angeles. I went to university in Texas. I was raised singing the Star-Spangled Banner and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was, but... Yeah, but... I mean, you know, my family, same thing, man. They've been fucking around for years. Like, my family tracks all the way back to, like... fucking... like 1600s or some shit. It's crazy.
Okay, so I am poly and with my GF. Wife doesn't want to be in another relationship with a person but doesn't mind if I date other people so long as she knows about the person.
Wait, hold on. 1 second. Let's see. So I am poly with my girlfriend. Wife doesn't want to be in another relationship with another person, but doesn't mind if I date other people, so as long as she knows about the person. That's fair. I do the same thing with my partner. I have hemorrhoids, so I just straight up, I tell my partner he can fuck whoever he wants, because, like, I don't think I'll be, like, you know, sex is already just, like, a fucking hassle for us, so. Oh. Worst case scenario, in order for, you know, in order to please himself, you know, he can go fuck, you know, whatever person. Oh. It's not like I'm gonna have sex with him anytime anymore, so. Oh.
Dude, did you make that?
Make what? Hi, Vixie. How's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it went well for you.
Ruh-ruh.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. How's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it went well for you.
I mean the Shaggy LOL.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of course. What do you mean? Sorry. Are you asking if I drew Shaggy? Or what? I still need to fucking... I'm still lip syncing.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Well, actually, you know, it was really crazy. You know,
I'm good, thanks. Laughing face.
There
Just
was
spending
these-
time with family.
good things. Just spending time with family. That's always good. Glad to hear you're still, like, you know, and, glad to hear you're still, like, you know, in relations with your family. It's a rare thing, you know. Keep it, you know, keep them as close as you can, man. Sorry, there's gonna be some annoying sounds for just a second. Ugh. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my god. I'm like keep burping up a bunch of shit. Okay. Alright. Anyway.
I'm about as American as it gets. Well, besides these guys. But I've also spent...
Honestly, me too.
Dude, when I clicked, I genuinely thought you had a picture of just Shaggy LMAO. That's really good. I'm proud, dog.
You're proud. Wait, sorry. When I clicked, I genuinely thought you had a picture of just Shaggy Lamau. That's really good. I'm proud, dog. I mean, it's... I appreciate it, but, you know... How do you say it? I'm sorry, I'm very confused. What do you mean you're proud? I appreciate it, but
Wife
like,
came over in OFC, asked what I was watching, then went, oh, it's the gay dog man.
it's the gay dog man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, yep. Yeah, no, I was gonna make a joke, but I couldn't figure it out. Oh yeah.
Also,
it's
as a native Canadian, that meme was goat.
you know, I'm, what do you call it? I'm, how you say it? I appreciate that you're proud of me, random chatter, you know, of course, you know, fuck my...
I mean, I am proud of you learning Woo.
My soundboard isn't... Hold on. Wait, you know what? Hold on. Wait, improv, hold on, hold on. Here it is. I'm just...
You got this color.
I just really have, just every, after 20 years of, well, 10 years, no, 13 years of, learning to draw, with my basically useless degree now, I will always, I am very proud of this Shaggy, of course, I used to watch Scooby-Doo a lot when I was younger. I just can't, thank the Academy enough thank Fixie enough for their proud moments, I hope, I hope to see you, in the future, of course, when this shit post is done, we will, I hope that it actually, many people see it, you know, and you share with your friends, your family, and your colleagues. Thank you.
Such an inspiration.
Anyway, all right.
I want to thank
that.
The American sounds in the back. I love this LMFAO.
American sounds. Oh, it's the graduation music, but yeah. All right. That was friggin' hard to improv. Anyway.
I want to thank myself.
I want to thank myself, and June Buggies would love to thank himself for being a part of this stream, or herself, sorry, thank themselves for being a part of this stream. Nobody else would ever be, you know, this is just a beautiful, perfect watcher that watches Color Story streams. There's no other way that anybody else will ever, you know, this is clearly a valued member of the community. The Cloud Empire would not be anything else without you people, of course. Oh gosh, you know, like, I don't know what to, you know, it just, I don't think there would be anything, there would be no Color Storm Empire without you the people in the stream. We have Junebugs, you have given great dedication to the Cloud Empire. Oh man, just revel in it. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, we're done with that. I had to. Alright. I have always, you know. Hold on, sorry, I just saw something. One sec, this is... The fuck? Sorry, this was on my this was just like on the recommended off to the side, I just have to hear it.
LWKY vibe though.
Damn. This is groovy. Damn. I'm really glad I clicked on this. Just like it piqued my curiosity.
This sounds like Persona 5 music.
Persona 5 music? Yeah. Be surprised what it is, actually. Sorry that I'm not talking, I'm just like fucking grooving out. God damn. Oh. Really glad I clicked on this. Hold on, I need to subscribe to this guy. This is a good remix. Hold on. Damn. Or not a remix, but yeah. It's a remix, yeah. God damn. Damn.
My cat is annoying my wife for no reason. Gosh, I raised him right.
Ah, heck yeah. God damn. That was a hell of a fucking... That was fucking awesome. Holy shit. That was a really good song. God damn. Anyway, moving on.
spent the last decade studying cults, dogma, and religious extremism, and thought control. And as
hold on,
someone who
what?
has lived in over a
Wait,
dozen
hold on.
countries and traveled to more
Wait,
than
how did we get there?
35 of them, I've started noticing some extremely troubling forms of propaganda that Americans are taught from childhood. Things that people in free developed democratic countries overseas find absolutely bizarre, and
Yes.
things that most Americans never question, because we've been marinating in it since birth. And look, every country has its own brand of propaganda. I'm not trying to pretend that America is uniquely evil here, but what makes American propaganda so effective is that most of us don't even realize it exists. We think that propaganda is something that happens in North Korea or Soviet bases. Posters of
Well, not entirely, because I don't know. Maybe here's the problem. Around, to be fair, probably most generations, except for millennials, are the only ones that can actually find out, like, you know, actually point out propaganda, like blatant propaganda pretty easily. Even in, like, they're not blatant, but like very subtle propaganda very easily. Because like it's very interesting that like everything that I've been pointing out about like certain propaganda things, most people of other generations just don't see it, including late Gen Z. It's like it's so weird because there was this little period in time where you were taught to be a proud American, but you were taught the right way of still teaching us about all of the bad stuff that we did, but the good stuff as well, and teaching us how other societies, like ours and even like, you know, others and even our own society use propaganda to make sure that people didn't to leave people ignorant and to, you know, be able to screw them, kind of like how they do now. You know, it was a very unique time, and it feels very interesting because I've noticed that I like our generation is on an island alone, you know, compared to, you know, it's like our generation is on an island alone because we can point out shit because our whole life we've been taught like from like the most extreme to the most subtle ways of like how propaganda is spread. And clearly, you know, our own system kind of realized what they did, which is why they fucking clawed out like everything that I used to be taught has been clawed out of the education system, because they realize if they teach that shit, then you're just gonna have another generation like us. Like, we're very independent, we're very where anti-corporate came in. We're like very like we were very accepting towards like minority groups, and we didn't just like weren't just accepting, but we also learned about why minority groups like say the things they do and why they do what they do, you know, or why it's brought up and like, you know, certain problems are brought up, right? It's not just in a way, sorry, and why certain phrases like, you know, even like, you know, certain phrases that exist of like, you know, the one that's called "I don't see color" is such a bad fucking phrase, because the whole point is you're supposed to see color in order to like, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but like, for example, the one that say where like a lot of times they talk about like white people that say "I don't see color," that's a bad phrase. Like, you don't want to say that shit because you're supposed to see color. Because if you're saying you don't see color, then you're just ignoring the problem. You supposed to see color because you're supposed to recognize, like, you know, the problems at hand, because it's not like, because there are deep rooted issues that have existed because of people's skin, like because of people being against other people's skin color, right? Like, it's that simple, right? It's, you know, it's the same thing of, you should care about like why people are attacked the way that they are, and you shouldn't just,
if you don't see color, then you don't see the issues.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there you go, exactly what I said, but in like, yeah, exactly, sorry, what I said, but in a obviously shorter way, better way than I said it, you know, exactly, Junebugs. You know, it's such a crazy thing because like it's there's so many things that people just don't pay attention to that much, because of the fact that like, or it's just weird because I'm in like this weirdly unique position where I'm in a generation that just got taught the most. I mean, we had the fucking No Child Left Behind bullshit, but we also got taught like things that were more uncomfortable to learn about, things that would be uncomfortable to every other generation. And probably is the reason why they also like fucking call us anti-American, even though we really aren't. We're the most American, like Americans to ever exist because we're more independent than anybody. But it's just because we're that independent, they don't think we're American, and that's the issue. It's just, it's crazy. Like, it's gonna be, like, it's just hard to, maybe this is why it's so hard for us to relate to most generations, because just, they're not educated like we are. So, anyway.
Of dictators and state-controlled media. We don't recognize it when it's sung at football games.
I mean, it is, state-controlled media. It is state-controlled media. It is, like, literally that's what's happening with the internet. Like, how, like, China basically, suppresses all of the internet and basically only makes sure that very Chinese-based things are the things that are explored rather than like, other things. It's the same thing with America. They just want you to base, like, obviously there's, like, the UK and Australia, and, there's the English barrier, but the algorithms themselves actually, like, if you're an American, they have something in, like, just American internet that basically doesn't let you go on certain places. Like, there are some websites that I've looked up that you actually need a VPN for. And even a VPN still might not work that well, because, like, there's, like, things that you can do that basically, like, websites that I've been, like, restricted from in my own country, because America doesn't want you learning about things from, like, don't want you learning about, issues here, if that makes any sense. Like, there's even, like, scientific, like, there's, like, a website, I can't remember exactly, but it was a website that had a lot of, like, scientific research on it, and US blocked it. So it's like, yeah, we have a censored internet. It's just people don't realize that, because, even me saying this could probably get this video, like, immediately taken down, or this stream taken down, because it's like, like, we just have that problem. We know that it will probably be more blatant in the future, but right now people just don't recognize it, when that's what they've been doing for the past, like, 30 years. Like, not 30, 20 years, sorry. 30, oof.
Games and printed on a bumper sticker. So here are 7 forms of propaganda that you probably didn't even realize that you grew up with if you're an American. Number 1, US-centric education. American history is extraordinarily short. We are talking a few centuries compared to civilizations that span millennia. And yet,
Yeah, and at the time, they went in huge depth about a lot of, when I was in American history, there's a lot of things that I know about American history that even other, like, that people that had, like, that Gen X just doesn't know, and late Gen Z doesn't know. There's so many points in American history, like, people didn't even learn, like, don't even learn about, like, Lewis and Clark, or, like, Sacagawea, or, I'm trying to think of, like, another one. There was, like, one with, like, the fucking, not the Eiffel Tower, but the fucking, I guess we know, like, how some people don't even like, a lot of, like, late Gen Z I've even talked to. I mean, I don't talk to them that much because they're just fucking young, but, it's interesting because they also don't know why this, like, they didn't realize the Statue of Liberty was built by, like, the same people that built, like, the Eiffel Tower. Like, the Paris people, right? It was built by France, right? And that's kind of a problem. Or, I'm trying to think of another thing. I mean, probably Harriet Tubman, even.
The French.
Let's be honest, the French. Yeah, it was built by the French. It was built by, what was his name? Like, the guy that was based off of his mother. Hold on. Like, the French helped us build the Statue of Liberty. Hold on. Statue of Liberty. Builder. Let's see what his name was.
No, I know you said the France people.
Oh, yeah. French people. Did I say the France people? Sorry, French people. People from France, yes. Yeah. Frederick Auguste Bartholdi. Yeah, so said that like a Russian accent. I should have given it a French accent, but whatever. Yeah, but It's interesting. Oh, and sorry, and Gustav Eiffel as well. Gustave Eiffel. Sorry, Gustave. Oh, Gustave. Whoops. Sorry. Um, yeah. I mean, it's always been built by, or it's been built by, or I don't know, built. Sorry, there's just a lot of things that like they definitely. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you the amount of anti-Nazi, stuff literature I read like since fucking elementary school, not junior high or high school, elementary school. Ever since I was in elementary school, the amount of anti-Nazi literature I've been given, to read throughout my whole school life. It's just very much probably not a thing they don't want. They don't want
O W O pounces on you.
Thank you for, how do you say it's, what do you call it? Sorry. Welcome to the Cloud Empire. You are now stuck, I would call it, you're now stuck here forever. Quick, somebody pay Cloud Empire taxes before I put this, or before I put this guy in the dungeon. Or the the labor kitchen as well. Maybe we'll put him in a different.
Oh God, wife
place.
reminded me mood swings may start next week for her.
Wife reminded me mood swings may start next week for her. Okay, hold on. Yeah, how was work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it's well for you. Woody, what do you call it? Woody Hazel. Oh wait, yeah. Hold on. Here, hold on. I know what your wife will be doing. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Hold on. Soon she will be walking in where hold on. This theme song will start, or this will start what do you call it? This theme song will start with every time she enters the room.
Something about you makes me feel like a dangerous woman. Something about
I'm sorry. I just had to. Anyway. Alright. Meanwhile.
OMG LOL.
I wonder if there's a cover of this. Sorry, I always love hearing covers. Because there's always, people that can do the fucking covers of these things. And then the first one's a guy. Hold on. Wait, let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see.
In the moment, I'm locked and loaded, completely focused. My mind is open. All that I got, skin to skin. Oh my God, don't just stop.
Damn, this guy has a fucking beautiful voice.
I'm gonna make you feel like a dangerous woman. Something
Wow,
about
what a bummer. He switched out the moves.
makes you wanna do things that you shouldn't.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, damn. Come on, you didn't want to call yourself a dangerous woman? Alright, whatever. Damn, that's such a bummer. I was like, oh, come on, dude. That's such a cop out. Damn. He was like, he didn't want to call himself that. He wouldn't call himself a dangerous woman, so he called it. So he said, makes you feel like a dangerous woman. Bummer. Oh well. Boo. Anyway. Alright. Anyway. Moving on.
If you grew up in an American public school, you would think that the United States was the center of human history. Geography classes
Oh
often
yeah, Woody Hazel, you haven't what do you call it? You haven't told me how work or how your day was.
Call yourself a dangerous woman, man. You will make women like you more MF.
Call yourself a dangerous woman, man. You'll make women like you more more motherfucker. I don't know. I just think it's not that big of a deal. I just thought it was just really funny. I don't know. It's okay.
often aren't taught at all, and world history courses, when they are taught, are basically how does the rest of the planet relate to America?
Well, not really. When I was taught in world history, they never... See, this is kind of the thing, is maybe he was, but again, in my world history class and in my American history class, like they...
What's up, man?
What's up, man? What do you mean? No, I was saying how was work, how was errands, how's your day in general. I was just saying, come on, tell us how your day was. Come on, do it. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, sorry. I didn't want to destroy your ears. I don't even know if that other person is here. Are you still here, Vixie? Anyway,
War is taught as
yeah. Tell us about your day. Do it now. Anyway.
Do it.
as a war for freedom. Westward expansion is framed as brave pioneers.
Do it! Do it! Make your dreams come true! Do it! Alright, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not normally this energized. I apologize. Normally I'm like half asleep, so... I apologize if I'm a little too energetic for you.
You are obligated to by coming in.
You're obligated to by coming in.
Color Stormfur.
What's up? Make me feel like a dangerous woman.
Yes, Slay King.
Oh wait, hold on. This guy might be able to do it. Hold on. Slay King. You don't know if I'm a queen. Oh god, it's one of these ones.
Oh, color.
Yeah, what's up? Oh, color. Gotta bring out the ers.
You can see my messages?
I can, yes. Why? Sorry, I'm trying to see if this guy will wail. Well, let's see.
Something
You know because you said that I need color and drag LOL.
makes me feel like a dangerous woman.
There we go.
Something about
said that I need
you
color and drag.
makes me wanna
Did
do
I?
things
Wait.
that I shouldn't.
Are you talking about
Do you want-
G-Bucks? Bummer. I thought he was gonna do something a little bit more crazy. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
You said you don't know that I'm not a queen.
Don't know I'm not a queen? Yeah. You don't know that. Maybe I'm a queen. I don't know. Maybe I'm a drag queen. Did it. Sorry, hold on. Hold on. Wait. Of course, you don't know if I'm a drag queen.
Something about you.
I need color and drag now.
Feel like a dangerous woman.
There we go. And that's the backup singer guy. There we go. I was looking for it. I don't know. Somebody drew me in drag before already. Let me see. I have fan art of it. Let's see here. Your wish already was probably granted a while ago, but let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find the fan art, because there was fan art of somebody that drew me in drag. Let's see, where is it? Looking. Sorry, there's actually quite a lot. I'm not lying to you. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, wait, that's not it. Is that the right one? I don't know. No, that's the skirt one. Where's the drag one? That's the one I was in drag in. Unless that was the one. I just thought there was one that I was like, I swear I was drawn in drag. Maybe not. I swear there was one I got. Somebody drew me in drag before. Just I think. Maybe? God damn. Forgot how much fan art sometimes people send me. Jesus Christ, I do not deserve all this. Oh, there it is. I do not deserve all the drag. I think it's this one, maybe? This is one of them. Few people drew me in drag, I guess.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, there we go. There it is. Or maybe this one? I don't know if that counts. Then it's this one.
Alright, folks. We need
Let's see. It's not the drag one. Oh my god, this one's just so cute. Anyway, all these art pieces are so adorable. Here we go. There it is. There's the drag one. Yeah. That one's pretty sweet. I like it.
LOL.
Yeah, there's a few people that have drawn me in drag, as you can see. I get fan art of some wild stuff. The one that's my favorite is the one where they just like drew me with me sitting on ice because of my hemorrhoids.
OFC, my wife comes over here as soon as that is on screen.
Of course. Oh, they want to see it again? Okay, hold on. 1 sec. There you go. Hold on. She likes what she sees, of course, you know. There we go. You like what you see? Heck yeah. Slay, let's slay, ladies. Sorry, hold on. See if I can get the voice out. Come on, ladies, let's slay. Anyway, slay, bitches. All right. Anyway. I don't have anything to really say other than that, so apologies. All right, moving on.
Pioneers taming a wild frontier, not as the systematic displacement and genocide of indigenous peoples who've been living there for thousands of years. World War II, Americans
Slay
swoop in and save the
bitches.
day, with little mention of the roughly 27 million Soviets who died on the Eastern Front doing the bulk of the fighting against Hitler. Not
Wait,
years.
hold on.
World War II's word expansion is framed as brave pioneers taming are taught are basically how does the rest of the planet relate to America. The Vietnam War is taught as a war for freedom. Westward expansion is framed as brave pioneers taming
Wait, the which war? Hold on.
are taught are basically how does the rest of the planet relate to America. The Vietnam War is taught as a war for freedom.
Not when I was taught the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War, they taught us that it was a massive mistake that should never exist again. You know, that should never happen again. Like, I know that if they teach it like that now, that's terrible. That's not good that they're trying to teach like the Vietnam War was not a massive mistake that literally had millions of people killed. In school, they literally taught us that it was a problem. Like, we should never do that again. Of course, we unfortunately are doing that again. You know, with the fucking, you know, this fucking fighting for fucking Israel. But anyway, like unrelated to real life or unrelated to this type of politics. Yeah, no, they straight up taught us that the Vietnam War was a huge was a unnecessary war that led
Erase bad history to redo that history.
millions. Yeah, that led to fucking so many unnecessary deaths. You know, erase bad history to redo that history. I guess apparently that makes way more sense why people don't fucking correlate that shit to. That explains why people aren't like correlating the current war we're in to fucking the Vietnam War. That makes way more sense now because like the fact that I mean I still hear like a lot of people say it. I just don't fucking it's just crazy to me that there are just like people that are like stupidly ignorant, not realizing that we're having like the same war again. But then if they weren't even taught that shit, then that makes sense now. Why people aren't even bringing up the Vietnam War. That, oh my god, wow. That's really bad. Like that's dangerous. Good god, dude. Yeah, we need some huge. I mean, we've already known that we need education reform, like, you know, because of all the bullshit that's happening right now, because of kids not paying attention in class. But like, Jesus Christ, man, that is really bad if they're not even teaching them that the Vietnam War was the biggest mistake on the planet.
Westward
Well, not on the planet, just for America, but you know what I mean, America and, you know, both Vietnam.
expansion is framed as brave pioneers taming a wild frontier, not as the
Jesus.
systematic displacement and genocide of indigenous peoples who've been living there for thousands of years. World War II?
Yeah, see, and they taught us that, you know, it was like, you know, like that we slaughtered like a bunch of indigenous people like all the time. But again, that's also, but they, you know, they didn't like sugarcoat any of this shit when I was in school. The fact that I'm hearing that this kind of stuff was not taught in school, like, or it was taught this way instead, is a bad sign. Because like all this stuff that I was taught in school, the way that he's saying that we weren't taught was the way that millennials were taught. Like that's how we were taught, because it was like we were still taught that like there were still a lot of good things in American history. It's just there was a lot of bad things too, just like every other country. Every other country has had their bad history, and it's like, you know, so it tries to, you know, they at least were honest. That's crazy. The fact that like it's crazy the fact that this is just like that crucial evidence is not even being taught correctly anymore, which is a problem.
Americans swoop in and save the day, with little mention of the roughly 27 million Soviets who died on the Eastern Front doing
Yeah, but we knew this
the bulk
already.
of the fighting against Hitler. Now,
Yeah, but god damn, the fact that like, geez, there is so much shit that I'm learning that like that I didn't even realize has changed like that, or like just like probably changed when I was in school, and then immediately changed, like did a 180 back. You know, so basically millennials are the only generation that know that America kind of has like a million fucking problems. Its history has always had problems, but you know, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that is bad, dude. That's really bad. I didn't know this shit. Like I didn't know that these people like I didn't know people didn't learn that shit. You know, I thought at least Gen X knew. You know, I thought Gen X was taught like that, but I guess not. Good fucking lord, man. What the hell?
Now, compare that to how other countries teach history. In much of Europe, kids actually learn global history. They study African kingdoms, Asian dynasties, Middle Eastern contributions to science and mathematics.
I mean, we did too. Oh my god. Holy shit. I didn't realize that they were... excuse me. I didn't realize they took all this shit away from education. Holy fuck. Like, that's bad. I didn't know this. I didn't know this was, like, taken away from the American, like, education system. I knew that I knew they were doing some crazy shit, but, like, it's really bad that this is just, like, not a thing anymore. Like, this... God, all this shit was, like, all the world history that he's, like, talking about, or, like, the good and the bad history was taught to millennials, and... Yes? Hold on. One sec. What's up?
So, I was fed sugar-free food at work, and I'm afraid of sugar.
You sure? Okay. Is it really, like, that bad?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna grab some powder so you don't get a rash, at least. Here we go. No problem. Here, let me give you a second one, too. You're good. You might want to double up, because if it's that, then you might want to double up just in case, so. Just in case it gets really bad, so. Anyway. Yeah, dude, I just didn't realize that,
OOP.
how you say it? I just didn't realize that, freaking, that this kind of stuff just, like, wasn't fucking tight. Like, I'm just crazy. Like, this means that millennials, like, with all of this, like, information now, knowing the fact that they weren't talking about the good and bad side of history, like, they're not talking about the good and bad side of history, like, with American history, and even not teaching, like, that general world history of math and science and just a bunch of shit, right? The fact that basically means that millennials, like millennials and early Gen Z, of course, because I'm a part of early Gen Z, were the only people that were taught about like correctly about history, because I knew Vietnam. The Vietnam War was taught as like a what do you call it? The Vietnam War in school was taught about like it was the biggest mistake in American history and we should never do that shit again. Then there was the what do you call it? And then of course, they talked about like the slaughtering of indigenous people, but they talked about the and then they even talked about like the takeover. Like they even talked about how freaking what's his name? Oh my god. They talked about how Christopher Columbus, he didn't discover America. It was a different guy. They taught, obviously they taught about like Harriet Tubman and the slave trade, and like they talked about the brutal fucking the brutal nature, like how even at the time, even the Constitution had was talking about like how there were still people that were genuinely trying to make it, like there was, a bunch of funny enough, they talked about a drunk guy that, Andrew Lyon, when he talked about, the amendments only exist because of him, right? They talked about a lot of problems, right? Even in world history, right? They even talk about how in world history, how there's a lot of, crusades and shit where it's like religion can become this it's fine, but if you a lot of people in past history use that as a clarification to kill a bunch of people. It's crazy to me.
They taught a lot of world history when we were in school, IG.
Yeah, it's just crazy because I didn't even think about this, because that means that millennial, even Gen X, I guess, didn't even get taught this shit. That means that millennials are the only generation that have completely unfiltered, maybe that's why we're so resistant to propaganda and shit. That means we're the only generation that had just unfiltered history, unfiltered science, unfiltered math, unfiltered world history, unfiltered everything. Because I didn't even realize that people weren't taught accurate history. I didn't realize that I know now that probably later Gen Z and Gen Alpha now, after a few years, are being taught that shit. Oh, thank you. I realize that they're being taught that kind of stuff, right? So it's I realize that, but it's I realize they're being taught probably propaganda now, but even that means that even before then, I guess late Gen Z hasn't even been taught accurate history. Which makes sense why they're so ignorant. It just everything about this kind of thing, I just did not realize that. Literally, that means that millennials are the smartest generation out of everybody, which sounds crazy because we're also kind of the generation that, that's why, usually millennials are known to be chill. That's why we're known to be, people that just chill out and have fun and, sometimes have childlike wonder. We're born in a pretty bad time when, everything was still getting destroyed, environments were getting destroyed and shit, but it explains so much why every other generation just is ignorant to so many things, or just doesn't have this, and I'm gonna say the word common sense. They don't have common sense things that they were taught in school, or that we were taught in school, I guess. And it's just, I don't know, it's just worrisome now, because now that basically means that it explains why getting past the barrier of trying to teach people, trying to get people to understand something is probably because they're just not educated. That's just, I don't know what to say. I'm just baffled. I'm so baffled because that like it explains why everything is far worse than it should be. I just thought, you know, people were just ignoring, you know, the blatant shit they got taught in school, but it could just be the fact that they never were taught, like, you know, taught what we were taught in school. Like I said, I mean, I'm sorry, I know I keep bringing this up, but again, like, I know ever since I was in elementary school, we were taught about, like, how Nazi, like, we were taught about a lot about Nazi propaganda. Like, we were taught so much about Nazi propaganda and, like, and Nazis, period. So we would never have that problem ever again. The fucking problem is, I should have recognized that they would probably...
Hello, Color. I'm not gonna leave the stream out of the blue this time.
Okay, no problem, Super Shafts. I appreciate it. Yeah, like, you know, like I said, I mean, that's
I don't want to say it's not the government, but it could also be lack of school funding. Anyways, how you
be
doing?
the lack of school funding. Oh, it is the lack of school funding. That's the problem, is because, like, every few years or so, they, like, every, like, couple of years, they lower the school funding over and over and over again until, like, billionaires obviously take most of the money and make sure that people don't have, like, the Department of Education just can't do anything. That's the real problem, is just they can't give them that kind of stuff. And then, I'm doing all right. How about you, Super Chefs? Yeah, I mean, we've known that for years, but just now it's just the Department of Education is completely abolished. Like, our fucking, you know, lovely leaders decided to take down the Department of Education, so now there's just, like, nothing checking up on, like, what people are being taught anymore. So, or what kids are being taught anymore. But apparently even back then, that means that literally, even if somebody's like a few, like maybe like 4 or 5 years older, like somebody's like 4 or 5 years younger than me, that means that genuinely they don't know everything. That means they don't know everything about American history and everything about world history. And it makes sense the reason, and they don't even know about like scientific discoveries and like very important like people in science, you know? They don't know about very important people with science and people that like even discovered like certain symbols in math. Like, you know, the person that invented like algebra and shit, right? Like it's wild to think about, because that basically means that like even just the fact of like how the planet works, you know. Hi Jolo, how's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hoping it's well for you. That just basically means that literally millennials are the most educated.
Nothing new with me.
No problem. That's always good sometimes, having some consistency. Yeah, I just, dude, it's just crazy because
Just been bullying my mental health, lol.
Bullying my mental health? Oh no, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I just can't believe that fact now, because that literally just means millennials are the most educated people out of everyone. Like, out of every generation, millennials are the most educated. Fucking, and maybe early Gen Z too, because again, I was a part of that generation. Like, I know just as much as millennials do. That is scary. That is really genuinely, like, scary.
I randomly thought of a 70s Italian pop song with gibberish lyrics that attempted to mimic American pop music. I dare you to try to pronounce the name.
Oh god, I probably won't.
They learn about colonialism
called
for what
Prison
it
Tennessee
actually
Assault.
is, not heroic adventure.
Hold on. It's called... Oh my god, okay, let's see. Prison Colleen... Prison Colleen... Hold on. Sinane Uasol. Did I get that right at all? Prison Colleen... Collinin... Wait, no, Collinin... Yes, okay. Prison Collinin... Sinane? Sinane... Fuck. Sinan Uasol. So, Prison Collinin... Sinane Uasol. Or Suasol, depending on what we're describing here. Let me see how to actually pronounce it. It's either Cuasol or Suasol.
I love listening to my wife ranting in Spanish and waiting till she realizes I don't understand her.
Ah. That is completely fair. I hear that all the time, and don't worry, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. I literally hear people constantly talking Spanish every day, so... And I just completely tune it out by this point, because I do not speak any Spanish, so... Listen to Spanish my entire life. It's called my family. Anyway. Let's see. Alright, let's see how to pronounce this.
Oh no, I've dealt with it for 14 years, I think it's cute.
Oh yeah, of course. It's fine. Hold on.
I'm back. Gotta say that if AGI does release it'll just be a nonsentient general intelligence. Like bruh, at least it don't got the intelligence of a flat worm, which, they got narrow intelligence.
Let's see.
Prison calling ensign name choose all.
As long as it, you know, as long, hold on. Let's see. Alright, let's see if I can find it. There's a British version and an American version.
Prison ensign choose all.
Prison colonine ensign. Hold on.
Prison ensign choose all.
Prison colonine incident. Hold on. Prison colonine incident. Choose all? Huh. So I got pretty close.
Prison ensign choose all.
Colon incidine. Okay. So you say colon incidine like it's the same one word. So prison colonine incident choose all.
Prison ensign choose all.
Colon in.
Fellas, I think Prado heads are good lamps.
I wouldn't know.
It choose all.
Choose all. It choose all, I guess, yeah.
Prison ensign choose all.
Choose all, okay. Prison colonine instant. Damn it. Prison colonine choose all. Oh my god. See, I'm just getting worse now. Prison colonine incident choose all. Interesting.
Adventure, but exploitation. When I talk to Americans who are traveling abroad for the first time, I'm often shocked at how little they know about the rest of the world. And that's not by accident.
I mean, to be fair, they do teach a lot about
bye.
world
Take
history,
care.
but
Have a good day or night or something. Your pronunciation was not bad, actually.
it's pretty close, I guess. Yeah, the first time. Yeah.
She finally noticed and turns out she's just ranting about how she can't have coffee for a while.
Can't have coffee for a while? Oh, that's a bummer. I know the feeling. I'm not allowed to drink coffee anymore either. Or eat chocolate, apparently. Which I've been kind of doing lately, which I shouldn't be.
Accident. A nation which doesn't teach its citizens about the world produces citizens who don't question their own nation's role in it.
Well, not really, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think most people know about, most Americans can't really understand a lot of, like, you know, world history. Like, we get, even for me, that got taught a lot about world history, there's not really...
Actually, Emma, send one more message before leaving.
There's not really much I can really, like, say that was, how you say it? There's not really, like, Americans just in general, even if we got taught that kind of stuff, it's not like we really are, it's not like we don't question, like, our role in the world. It's not, we don't, Outlast is good. I have not played it, but I would agree with you, considering a lot of other people agree with you.
Okay, bye. I did the thing.
Okay. How do I say it? Yeah, no, what was it? Yeah, no, like, just straight up, a lot of Americans do talk about our role in the world, and they know it's, like, you know, can be semi-important, like, it's obviously important for it to be connected to the rest of the world. It's just, to be fair, even if we learn, like, even when I learned about, like, American history, along with probably a lot of other people in my classes, it's just, I can't really tell you exactly, like, I can't really tell you, like, too much about the world in general. Like, I know, like, certain basic history, but, like, all of the shit that I was taught, the main thing that I was mainly taught about was how many fucking times, like, China broke to pieces, and then, like, you know, to high hell, and then, like, and then the constant fucking wars, like, the religious wars. Like, and then Christianity, and, like, Buddhism, and Taoism, and, like, all these, like, literally people fighting over, like, religious shit, you know? And of course, like, you know, the fucking Romans and shit, so. Just everything. There was just constant bloodshed for fucking centuries. So, yeah.
Number 2, the Cold War binary. If you grew up in America anytime after 1950, you absorbed one of the most effective propaganda frameworks ever constructed. Communism equals evil, capitalism equals freedom.
Well, they didn't really necessarily do that shit, but I guess they talked about the Cold War, but it wasn't necessarily taught like that when I was in school, but again, maybe it is now. I don't know. The Cold War was a very different kind of, like, it was taught a little bit differently, but, you know.
Full stop. No nuance, no discussion, just a clean binary where one side wears white hats and the other side is a cartoon villain. What they don't teach you is that during the Cold War, the United States overthrew democratically elected governments around the world simply because the governments leaned left.
Yeah, I know. They did, yeah, I was taught this. Did they not, like, you know, also, sorry, I'm trying to think, because the Cuban Missile Crisis, but that was earlier in history. I'm trying to remember when the Cold War was. Because the Cold War was later, right? No, it was earlier. Yeah, no, I mean, they, man, dude, yeah, they taught us about, like, how there's a lot of mistakes that were made, like, in American history like that, where we obviously changed, like, a lot of, like, dictatorships and shit. But again, or changed a lot of things like dictatorships, which is crazy. And, like, the crazy, like, the fruit company was a thing I learned on my own later, but yeah, there was some messed up shit that happened. But again, like, it's crazy to me that, like, other generations just haven't been taught about this, but like, millennials have.
In 1953, the CIA helped orchestrate a coup against Iran's democratically elected prime minister.
Let's see. Couldn't for the life of me remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah, I mean, it's basically, like, freaking, they say that Cuba fucking, so it's basically, like, both countries pointing missiles at each other, and then threatened to kill each other, but, the irony is, JFK, threatened first, so, and they don't want to talk about that, but yes, the irony is they probably don't anymore, but JFK originally threatened Cuba first to point their missiles at, you know, Cuba. I don't even remember what it was over, but it was something, like, really fucking petty.
Mohammad Mossadegh, because he nationalized Iran's oil industry. In 1954, the US toppled Guatemala's president Arbenz because his land reforms threatened the profits of because he nationalized Iran's oil industry. In 1954, the US toppled Guatemala's president.
We did learn about that the fact that the US, like, fucking killed a person because the oil, or because, you know, for oil, again, probably not a thing they probably teach, you know, American students about anymore, which is a fucking problem. Like, God, dude, I'm not even recognizing how much shit these guys were, like, these people were taught, and that, like, that, you know, old and new generations are just, like, not taught this important shit in history like this.
President Arbenz because his land reforms threatened the profits of United Fruit Company.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's the evil-ass United Fruit Company where they literally replaced him with the dictator. They replaced him with the dictator because they wanted fucking fruit. Yeah. Yeah, you know, the fruit company was fucking evil as hell. Anyway.
1973, the CIA backed the overthrow of Chile's Salvador Allende, a democratically elected socialist, and replaced him with Augusto Pinochet, a brutal military dictator who
They want the banana? Yeah, I wanted more than the banana.
Tortured and murdered thousands. The Congo, Brazil, Salvador Allende, a democratically elected socialist, and replaced him with Augusto Pinochet, a brutal military.
I remember this stuff.
Yeah.
US fruit companies themselves legit controlled Central American governments.
Oh yeah, straight up, dude. Remember this? U.S. fruit companies stuff. U.S. fruit company themselves, legit controlled Central American governments. Yeah, I mean they still do, unfortunately. That's the most. It is very unfortunate. Yeah, this one, unfortunately, yeah, the fact that this one I did not learn about until a lot later, that the fact that they fucking overthrew, like, you know, they overthrew, like, or they killed, like, not governor, but they killed, like, a fucking, you know, democratic leader, not democrat, but like a, you know, democracy, there we go, like a like a
I think we
person,
started learning about TS when I started ditching school.
yeah, how you say it, uh, they replaced him with the dictator. They replaced their
Twitch
leader
ad.
with the dictator because of fuck. God damn it, dude. Fucking Twitch.
Now do you want
Ad over.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, this was one I didn't learn about until I was like an adult. Was the fact that yeah, the Cuban leader was, or not Cuban, fucking this guy was like fucking replaced with a fucking dictator because they had socialism, which is fucking insanity.
There were good socialist leaders too that the USA hated unconditionally. Chile, Salvador Allende, Burkina Faso's Tomas Sankara. Those are the only two I know off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, this guy's about to tell us about the rest of them.
fruit company? In 1973, the CIA backed the overthrow of Chile's Salvador Allende, a democratically elected socialist,
Chile,
and
there you go.
replaced him with Augusto Pinochet, a brutal military dictator who tortured and murdered thousands. The Congo, Brazil, Indonesia, it's all the same playbook. America claimed to be defending democracy while systematically destroying it in order to exploit country after country.
And people wonder why fucking Russia decided, or not Russia, yeah, no, people wondered why, like, China tried to make our citizens stupid, and Russia obviously took advantage of, like, trying to, you know, wanting to destroy our country and put us in a dictatorship instead. Like, it's very clear, like, you know, it's very clear the U.S. had what was coming to them because of all that, like, all that fucking history of just the U.S., like, fucking demolishing every, like, a bunch of, like, very democratic countries.
Che Guevara was not bad too, but he didn't manage a
Democrat.
specific country. Then again, I heard he was active in Bolivia before being captured.
Let's see. Che Guevara was not bad too, but he didn't manage a specific country. Then again, I heard he was active in Bolivia before being captured. Yeah. The US has been bad guys, like been the bad guys for a long fucking time. And it's very unfortunate that we're not being taught as, like, you know, or not we, but people in general haven't been taught this shit, like, you know, ever. Or, like, I guarantee if you tell, like, a young person about this shit, like, I guarantee if I teach any of the Gen Z about all of this crazy shit that happened, like, you know, if I tell them about the United Fruit Company, or I tell them about, like, all this other shit, late Gen Z are too, like, corrupted by, like, alpha bro propaganda that they don't want to learn. Like, it's not the fact that they don't, you know, they won't learn something, but it's the fact that they don't want to learn something. They don't have the ability. It's not the fact that they can't have the ability to learn this shit. It's just they don't want to learn about it because they've been so shoved by propaganda, by calling everybody, like, you know, by calling all the people that want to improve society, they call us a bunch of fucking names. Because they know that if they call us a bunch of names of literal, like, criminal events, even though we've never done any shit like that, you know, they realize that they can just get, you know, younger generations and even older generations on board, like, for, you know, for calling, you know, activist groups or people that genuinely just want to change things for the better, like scientists and, like, you know, scientists and historians and freaking I'm like trying to think who else, but like, even just like farmers and shit. Like people genuinely want to change things for the better. But of course, they don't want like our country obviously doesn't want improvement, because if we do that, that means we have to commit to it. And
Again, there were many socialist countries in the Cold War that worked. Chile, Burkina Faso, Benin, Madagascar, Grenada, Angola, Mozambique, Ethiopia, Yemen, Syria, Vietnam, Laos, China, and Mongolia.
oh yeah, dude. Fucking yeah, and China fucking is kicking our ass right now. It's clearly fucking worked.
backed the overthrow of Chile's Salvador Allende, a democratically elected socialist, and replaced him with Augusto Pinochet, a brutal military dictator who tortured and murdered thousands. The Congo, Brazil, Indonesia, it's all the same playbook. America claimed to be defending democracy while systematically destroying it in order to exploit country after country.
Yeah, I mean, just straight up, dude. It's just because we wanted all, like, resources, even though we could have gotten it a different way, and this is just the reason why, like, a lot of other countries just, like, one, don't help us trying to get democracy back, but two, like, they also, like, the fact that other countries, like, just demolished our democracy because and installed their own dictator here instead, because they knew that, like, they knew if they could do that shit, they would probably, ironically, it's like try to prevent other
Also,
places.
Grenada's
from being
communist government was
destroyed.
overthrown by the USA in 1983, and Grenada was also part of the British Commonwealth. Surprised? I wouldn't be.
Let's see. Grenada's communist government was overthrown by the USA 1983. Yeah, that was Reagan's thing, wasn't it? And Grenada was also a part of the British Commonwealth. Surprised? Would it be? Oh yeah, 1000%, dude. Does not surprise me at all.
This all is recent history, and this binary thinking is still alive and well. If you suggest universal healthcare in America, watch how quickly someone calls you a communist. Propose free public university education.
Well, very lately, people kind of haven't. Very lately, people recognize that maybe Medicare, like healthcare not being way too fucking expensive for everybody. People, I don't know, I would say there's, like, a lot of people, or most people genuinely think that, that's the one thing I could say the younger generation kind of recognizes should be a thing, is just free healthcare. So that may be a little different, but,
Something that dozens of thriving democracies already provide, and suddenly you're a Marxist. The Cold War
June made her
ended
biggest mistake
over
leaving her laptop
30
unattended
years
so
ago,
WST.
but the propaganda
Let's see. June made her biggest mistake, leaving her laptop unattended. So, what's up? Much. How about you? How are you doing? How I heard you guys' date was going well, or your date went well. So,
framework it built is still alive and kicking. If you want to start breaking free from propaganda, one of the most effective and powerful things that you can do is to expose yourself to other cultures, other perspectives.
yeah, you guys went on a date or something, right? Oh wait, no, sorry, no, your wife went on a date with someone else. Okay, sorry, I forgot about that.
And
You're in a
alt is still
poly-relationship
alive
with
and
that.
kicking. If you want to start breaking free
She's
from
in poly.
propaganda, one of the most effective and powerful things that you can do is to expose yourself to other cultures, other perspectives, and other languages. My dad was a language teacher, and I grew up multilingual, and I can
Yeah, I mean, I do this all the goddamn time. This is the reason why I'm not like. It's probably the reason why I'm also not like one of those people. This is what a lot of millennials do. That's the irony. The irony is a lot of millennials tend to
But
like.
yeah, I'm doing good. Cramps died off a bit.
I'm glad to hear it, Junebugs. Or not Junebugs, sorry, fucking, I always forget, like, your name. I'm sorry. I always forget, like, what we call you here. Sorry. Anyway.
Just call me JJ, LOL.
JJ. Cool. Thank you. What's I gonna say? Yeah, no. That's kind of probably the reason why millennials also are like so much more accepting. The one thing that's always really fucking annoying that I see that late Gen Z does is they call fucking everything that millennials do cringe, when just, when in reality, or like obviously they call fucking millennials woke all the goddamn time, when that they don't even know the fucking, name of they don't even know like the term, they don't even understand where the fuck that even came from or what it even means. Like, the reason why millennials just genuinely, like, are probably decent people most of the time, not all the time, the reason why we tend to, like, not be jackasses is because of the fact that we just like we learn other cultures, and then some will go as far as learning another language so they can just like have a different perspective, because being a good person sometimes just like that helps you be a better person. It's just understanding other people's perspectives, and like that's probably the reason why, like, genuinely we were just better than late Gen Z. Like, late Gen Z is clearly back into, like, they act like boomers because they're so narrow-minded and taught by narrow-minded people, and they clearly, like, had all their education stripped away, Like, I can guarantee you that, maybe I've, like, not read, like, I can guarantee you that I've read more, anti-Nazi literature than any fucking like late Zoomer, Boomer, or Gen X person out there. I am a person that genuinely is very American, and American to me is being a good person, helping out your your fellow Americans. I didn't want to say fellow Americans because who it reminds us of, but helping your your ally.
Tell you firsthand that learning another language doesn't just teach you new words, it gives you an entirely different lens through which to view the world.
Exactly.
Number 3, the land of the free myth. Americans are told from birth that the United States is the freest country on earth. It's in the song.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
It's on the bumper stickers. It's baked into the nation's identity so deeply that questioning it feels almost heretical. But is it true? Well, let's look at the data. On the Reporters Without...
I'm actually kind of curious what it was before, like, what do you call it, before 2024? Or, like, 2025, sorry. What it was before this current, like, obviously our current leadership, because our current leadership, obviously we are just now a flat-out oligarchy. Like, we have no more democracy. We have no more rights or anything like that, so...
Borders Press Freedom Index, the US doesn't crack the top 50. It ranks 57th in the world, just below Sierra Leone.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we're at 57 now. Like, that makes sense. I mean, and we probably used to be, but we used to be higher, but not anymore.
On the
And the land of
Cato
the oppressed.
Institute's Human Freedom
Land
Index,
of the oppressed. Oh, 1000%, dude. Probably did have it sometime before, but again, it's just now the final nails in the coffin will probably be like the bottom. Will probably be like all the way down to like 100 something. Anyway.
keep in mind, the Cato Institute is a libertarian think tank, not some leftist outfit. Multiple countries outrank America in both personal and economic freedom. The United States incarcerates more people per capita than almost every other country on the planet.
Oh yeah, and we know this, so yeah. Yeah, our prison system really needed a reform, but unfortunately, because that's kind of what probably started all these fucking anti-woke Gamergate alpha bro grifting bitches. Because all these people are like, well, I don't want to make the world better. The criminals, why would I want to help someone that you know, stole like an item from Walmart? I don't know, because they probably did it because they were like desperate for, you know, they like were desperate for money. Well, they stole something and I didn't, so they should be thrown in prison for years. Well, what about the fucking pedophile that touched a girl? Well, that's in my religion. So you actually, like, technically Jesus used to actually date a 14-year-old girl. Now that in the Bible it says that, you know, that you shouldn't be a pedophile. Well, I don't actually read the Old Testament. I don't go by the Old Testament. Then why the fuck are you, like, then you're not religious? Well, I am religious. I don't know, fucking God. I'm sorry. This was a legitimate conversation I actually had with somebody, so I apologize. I'm gonna stop. But yeah, like, legitimately, people are so hypocritical. I'll tell you that. It's like the fact that we legitimately could have way less prisoners if, you know, if we just teach them, you know, skills, teach them real life skills, maybe like a job, like maybe something that's like a blue collar job, you know, I don't know, teach them trade jobs, you know, sounds crazy, but I'm like, you know, it sounds so ironic, but it's like, bro, it's like the worst case fucking scenario. Maybe not like murderers and shit, but like, I don't know. If somebody like steals a car, like, I'm like, what's the worst case scenario, and maybe teaching them like plumbing or some shit. I don't know. Maybe if you get thrown into prison, maybe instead you get like, instead of you being incarcerated and like never like ending up going back out there or going back into the real world with like fucking nothing, maybe, I don't know, maybe they teach you like a real life skill and maybe teach you like plumbing or like construction or freaking I don't know, like AC, like HVAC, obviously, which is like AC units and shit, or welding, or fucking anything, dude. It's like all of like, maybe the punishment shouldn't be like, oh, you're just gonna like rot in prison and probably get like stabbed by like, by other prisoners and probably killed by other prisoners. And maybe it should be, oh, how about we teach you, all you guys, about real life skills, and because you fucked up, and you decided to steal something, how about we teach you about like, how about we just teach you about like now a trade job, like, sorry, like how you now have to work a trade job, congratulations, like there you go. Is it like, I mean, that could be cruel, I guess a lot of people could say, but like, I don't know, worst case scenario, teach them a useful skill. It's like you want them to learn their fucking, like, I hate to be that person, but it's like you want, like, I mean, clearly, the US like imprisons people wrongly all the time, but like, if let's say that our system didn't imprison people wrongly, you want to know how you teach them, like, you want to teach them an actual lesson, give them a job that matches like what they did, that matches like, the punishment, the punishment should match like what they actually did. If they stole a fucking car, then maybe teach them like plumbing or some shit, maybe teach them like, I don't know, teach them plumbing, teach them construction, teach them HVAC, teach them welding, teach them things that are useful, teach them like being a fucking electrician if you have to, it's like, it sounds crazy, but like, our prisoners could just be, I don't know, we could just put them to use. I mean, again, like, what's wrong? Like, maybe, let's say a guy was a gang member and he just used to steal a lot. He didn't, like, kill people or anything like that. Well, shit, maybe let's teach this gang member how to, like, maybe teach him, like, a fucking job that doesn't maybe involve people, but at least involves, like, serving the people, It's like, oh, sorry, you have to build solar panels now. Congratulations. Like, there you go. There's your punishment. It's like, a lot of people don't really want to work these jobs anyway, so why not give them to people that, maybe have done wrong? Again, I still think thievery should be like, a spectrum, because I'm like, if you steal, like, I don't know, let's say food, you shouldn't be punished for that shit. So you shouldn't have a giant fine for it, or, steal like baby food for your child, or obviously like baby formula and shit. Like, I think that should be completely, I think that should really be like, figured out. But again, murderers and shit, yeah, probably not. But, at least people that like steal things, right? Or people that do shit out of desperation. Like, if somebody was a gang member out of desperation, then maybe just, I don't know, teach them a real life useful skill. If they have a fucking, like, because if they have a kid, guess what they're gonna do? They're just gonna go to work and they're gonna do their job and do everything they can to make sure that kid is like, is living their best life. Some people are just parents, some people that were in gangs were just parents. Some people have done crimes are just parents. Maybe just at least give those people a chance. Sounds crazy, but sounds like a pretty good prison reform to me. I don't know. Put them in a fucking class that teaches them some real life skills. Like, teach them like fixing appliances and shit. There's your punishment. So I don't know. It sounds weird, but it's like, obviously, but now let me give you a response what probably these other people would do. They would probably, like, let me give you a response to that, probably like that a bunch of fucking Gamergate grifters are gonna say, oh, you're giving prisoners jobs? How dare you give prisoners jobs? I can't believe you would like even give these people, people have to go to college, but then prisoners get a free job. No, they just get taught fucking maybe some real life skills. It's like, I don't know, how about we pay our taxes for like, for trade jobs then. How about we have our taxes go into trade jobs? Oh, well, I don't want to pay tax. It's like, oh, well, I should be paying for someone else's education. Well, you're paying for war to, or people, you're paying for veterans to go to war, and then those veterans get free college anyway. Well, I don't know, fucking something. I don't know. They always have some fucking excuse. Some shitty ass excuse that just makes no goddamn sense, dude. It's like, bro, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but fucking, I don't know. Maybe we could just, rather than having millions of people in fucking prisons and then doing something bad and going back to prison again, maybe.
I think, like, if a parent robs a place trying to feed their family or child should just have to, like, I don't know, so some job instead of jail and no.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Honestly. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think just prisoners that steal, like, thieves.
Also, I think June fell asleep.
Oh, you're good. I think the, like I said, people that steal things, right? I think people that steal just should genuinely, like, we should just, put them in a useful job. Like I said, what are they going to do with plumbing? What are they going to do with, like, being an electrician? What are they going to do with being an HVAC employee? Like, what are they going to do if they're a construction worker, or building solar panels or working on something, right? Like, something that's a real life useful skill, right? Like, what are they going to do in that kind of case, right? They're not going to, they don't have really much out, like, they probably wouldn't have much of an option after that because nobody would really hire, like, people don't really hire, like, criminals that much anyway, but it's not the worst case scenario having, like, maybe having some kind of looser thing where it's like if somebody's like steal shit, maybe have them be able to work at, like, a crazier job, not like work like a trade job, I don't know, just like make people less desperate, And again, I just think in general, our taxes should go towards people that work trade jobs for people that aren't prisoners, right? Maybe it's crazy, but maybe we should have an incentive program. Maybe instead of using it to fire, maybe instead of using it to fire billions of dollars of goddamn missiles at third world countries, maybe we should just, I don't know, fucking use it, like, for something useful for our own fucking country, Just saying. I don't know, man. It's, like, so ironic that people just, like, don't realize there's an easy solution to this, but, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Again, will that stop people from stealing anymore? Probably not. I mean, it'll probably be a lot more successful than, what do I call it? It'll probably stop a lot of people from, committing crimes, if you just, if you give them, like, if you have, like, give them, like, a skill thing or something that they need a skill for. Again, will they probably hate their job? Maybe, but again, if they actually committed a crime like that, or like an important crime like that, and they were jailed for it where it was that bad, then, again, I still think the fucking law system is fucked, because again, a pedo gets the least punishment out of a fucking person that could steal, like, a banana or something, which is still insane to think about, but,
Our people are suffering from high inflation. What shall we do? I know, start a fucking war and no, cause that's what we need, RN.
Oh, our people are suffering from high inflation. What shall we do? I know, start a fucking war, because that's what we need right now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, brother. Like, I just can't believe that, it's crazy, because it's like the solution we could have could be so much far more productive, but we have fucking morons in our goddamn country that love, like I said, it's the fucking Gamergate morons in our fucking country that for some odd reason don't realize that maybe, our taxes are being used for something pretty fucking evil, like, all the time. Originally, it was evil to serve ourselves, but now it's just evil to be evil. Now there's just, like, now we're just wasting our fucking supplies. So we fucking love that shit. Anyway.
More than China, more than Russia, Iran, or North Korea. The land of the free locks up more of its own citizens than almost every authoritarian regime on Earth. And a
That's fucking... You have to remember, though, the US also has a population of 300 million, while others don't. But again, still, the number is a lot higher than most. Like, let me see. Especially recently, probably a lot of people are now getting, like, people can just get imprisoned for making a meme on the internet, by the way. That is legitimately actually what happened at one point. Someone made, like, a meme on the internet, and they got thrown in prison for it. I don't even remember who it was. Hold on, let me see. Like, it was a person in the United States, and they called them a fucking terrorist, which is insane. Hold on, let me see. Prison for making a meme. United States. Let's see here. I'll look up how many prisoners as well. Or, like, how many prisoners we have in our own fucking thing. Hold on. Let's see. Either 2026 or 2025. I can't fucking remember, but it's literally this year. It was fucking crazy. Let's see. Ba-ba. Okay, yeah, I mean, this was
I think I know what you're talking about, and that it was about people who got in trouble for the JD Vance baby face meme.
Yeah, there was that one too, but let's see. Larry Bouchard, a 61, well, this is not the same person. There was a like it was like a young woman that got like thrown in prison. But I don't know, I'm not really finding her for some odd reason. Let's see. Let's see. Larry Bouchard, a 61-year-old retired Tennessee police officer, was jailed for 37 days in September 2025 after sharing a meme on Facebook quoting the annoying orange. Not gonna say his name. And the quote is, "We have to get over." Or sorry, "We have to get over it." Sorry for the fucking terrible impression. Comment about a past school shooting. He added, "This seems relevant today." In a post about a vigil for conservative activists, Charlie Kirk. Anyway, after his assassination, Sheriff Nick Wims interpreted this as a threat to a local school and had Bouchard arrested on a $2 million bond. So basically, AKA, this guy posted our current leaders saying we have to get over it, then posted about Charlie Kirk and saying, hey, man, this quote seems relevant to Kirk. Interesting. And then, of course, he got fucking $2 million bond. Jesus Christ. Fuck that, dude. Bro, fucking Christ, man. Snowflakes. Fucking snowflakes. Hoy vey.
I think prisons should also be a bit safer. Now I get it. It's a prison. How TF is it supposed to be safe? It's supposed to be a punishment. Well, in prison the amount of rape is alarming and yet nothing is done to help them, yet it is very much so look over because we don't think twice about the criminal safety as well.
Oh, 1000%. Well, yeah, they also get sick all the fucking time, and then they get no medical help. Like, little to no medical help at all. That's a huge problem. Like, just a bunch of people just die in prisons. So, let's see. Oh man, you gotta love this. The Perry County School District confirmed it had no records of public concern or panic related to the post. So just straight up is just like, yeah, it's it's very clear that fucking nobody, like literally nobody at no school staff or anybody was like, yeah, this person didn't threaten our school or anything. They talked about how freaking Kirk, they had their own opinion. What? It had nothing to do with the school. They fuck off. That is crazy. That's really fucking funny. Even the school made a statement.
It's a punishment, not a death sentence, let alone something to induce trauma.
Let's see. It's a punishment, not a death sentence, let alone something to induce trauma. I mean, unless it's pedophiles, I do agree that pedophiles should be fucking like beaten the shit out of and rape themselves because they literally rape children. So like, unless they're pedophiles, like, you know, the only, like, if they're pedophiles, then fuck them. But like everyone else, yes. I mean, you have to remember, there's some crazy motherfuckers in prison. There's murderers.
Oh yeah, fucking just send to death row.
Yeah, there's like, what do you call it? There's murderers, there's rapists, there's pedos, there's constant people have done like sexual harassment. There are people that have killed people. That's the difference, right? Now, personally, I think we should put the murderers and the pedos and the rapists and the people that have sexually assaulted people. We should put all the people that have hurt people in a different prison, and then we should have people that have done things like thievery, right? Have like stolen things, right? Maybe have like destroyed a building or something and haven't killed anybody, right? People that haven't actually harmed or killed or hurt it, hurt anybody, but destroyed like property, stole property, like maybe, you know, maybe like again, like maybe fucking had like a, you know, did something crazy, but they didn't hurt anyone. Those people should be put in a different prison. Those people should be put in a different place because, like, genuinely, I don't think we should really, like, again, I don't think fucking taking something, you know, it should be equal to, like, I don't think taking, like, property or destroying property should be anywhere equal to a fucking murderer or a rapist or a pedophile. It's like, those people who could be able to, like, you know, let them add it on themselves, right? But we shouldn't be throwing people in fucking prisons if they're just, like, a person that just takes property, because property can always be replaced, right? You know, it's like, as long as they don't kill people, I think it's fine.
I do know that, and that I do agree that people who hurt others in any way, shape, or form should be separated from those who steal or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. We should also, and this sounds weird, but we should also separate the people that also, like, you know, accidentally, like, hit someone with their car or some shit by accident and they know it was an accident. That I think we should also separate as well, right? Like, maybe that's a little bit more crazy, but things that are actually, like, accidental too can be, like, a thing that we also shouldn't, like, you know, shouldn't punish people much for either. I mean, still punish them, but again, just, like, in a different way, right? You know, not if they're, like, you know, somebody that drinks or something, like, they didn't, like, if they drank, like, if they were a drunk driver, then yeah, no, fuck them, throw them in the regular prison. But certain prisoners really just should be separated. Like, there's the people that should be, like, in one prison that should be, what do you call it?
Vehicular manslaughter should not be in the same category as a rapist.
Yeah, exactly. Vehicular manslaughter should not be in the same category as a rapist. Well, yes, should, though. On vehicular manslaughter? What do you mean? Like, accidental or...
Unless OFC drunk driver.
Yeah. Like, I think just... Here's the problem. Killing people should always be separate. Like, you know, if it's on purpose, it should be separate. That, like, you know, doing bad things to people and it's on purpose should be separate compared to just a person, like, you know, stealing things. I'm sorry, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I get the idea. People shouldn't be, like, you know, just stealing all the fucking time. But, like...
Any killing from a car is vehicular manslaughter, I think.
Yeah. Let's say accidental vehicular manslaughter, unless it's a fucking drunk driver. So it's like, yeah, I mean, we should always have it separate from, like, from people that do bad shit, right? Like, you know, I think genuinely, I just think, you know, corporations just can go fuck themselves, but, you know, like, but, you know, that's a whole different
I'm
thing.
back. Butter dog type beat when?
Butter dog type beat? I don't know.
No, dude.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Proportionate number of them are Black and Latino. This is not what freedom looks like. It is a system designed to warehouse
the dog with the butter.
people. But it goes deep.
Let's see. Butter dog with the butter. Butter dog. I know I and I've seen the meme before.
A handful of corporations control vast swaths of American industry, from media to agriculture to healthcare and tech. These corporations aren't just influencing a little bit of government policy, they're writing the policy.
Yeah, they're also literally, they own a bunch of these prisons, by the way. It's fucking Johnson and Johnson owns a fucking prison. That should not be a thing. We should not have prisons that have that are owned by corporations. That's just fucking psychotic. So
Okay, bye. Take care. Just wanted to say that.
okay, you have a good night, Kabeko.
Politicians respond to donors and lobbyists, not constituents. Hell, there was a Princeton study which actually found that the preferences of American voters have a near zero statistical impact on whether a policy gets passed or not. But the preferences
Jesus Christ.
of economic elites, big businesses, and organized interest groups are strongly correlated with what policies actually get passed into
Holy fuck. Okay, yeah, that is just that just means our whole system's fucked. Jesus Christ, that's bad.
law. In other words, your politicians don't care what you want, unless you're a
Yeah, we know this shit. Yeah. We know this already, sadly.
billionaire. Elections are largely bought and paid for. Gerrymandering carves up districts so that the politicians can choose their voters rather than the other way around, like it
Yeah.
should be in a free democracy. Voter suppression laws target communities least likely to vote for the people in power, and the two-party system has become a self-reinforcing trap that incentivizes extremism over representation.
Yeah, and unfortunately 90% of the people the crazy thing, so I do want to actually say something about that. The funniest thing is, both parties fucking suck. We know that. Both parties suck. Both, all politicians are fucking awful. And, because they're paid by super PACs, right? But the craziest fucking thing is, there was, something, I don't remember exactly what it was, but literally about, 75% of the US population never likes a lot of the presidents that get elected. They don't like the presidents that get elected, and even just some of the state leaders that get elected, because the electoral college fucking chooses that shit because it's not the popular vote, which is just fucking so funny, because that basically means that most of the population, that means that only about 20% of the population, what was it, 25 or 20, 20 to 30% of the population only really likes the leader that we have in place, and which just already just shows you that this system is so fucked that we don't just need two parties, we need 10, dude. We need 10 or 20 different parties because of how fucking, and they exist, they just never get voted for because they're never the popular pick. And it's so ironic because that basically means that vast majority of Americans are just for the past, at least since the 80s, have been so fucking unhappy with every single leader that that just no fucking wonder everybody just is insane. That basically means that only the extremists get what they want and everybody else doesn't. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you are on. If you're not one of the crazy people, you don't even get a say in anything. You don't get your voice ever heard, which is fucking bonkers. It's I don't care, it's just all extreme, it just doesn't matter. If you're an extremist on either any side, it just, you don't fucking your voice is gonna be the only one heard, and only those two, and you notice how only those two people are the ones clashing, and always the fucking example on the fucking internet about oh man, well, this right-wing person did this left-wing person did this left-wing media, right-wing media, blah 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 blah, back and forth, over and over, it's always the most crazy, fucked up, annoying, ridiculous people to ever exist, and groups to ever exist. And it's fucking ridiculous by this point. It just literally shows that the vast majority of the American population can get along if extremists just stop getting the fucking power. It's so ironic because it's I've said this many times before. My grandfather was slightly he was pretty right wing, right? But he wasn't he wasn't a bad shit insane person that what do you call it? He wasn't a bad shit insane person that fucking that attacked people for who they were. He didn't care about gay people. He didn't care about black people and and Hispanic people, and he didn't care, like, and he had like a pretty reasonable like take on like immigration, where it's like, okay, well, they should probably at least, we should teach them English at least, so, and then, if they don't like pass like an English class, then maybe we should, then maybe, they're just not meant to be here, like that kind of thing, right? Or, they got to have like real useful skills. They got to come in with a degree or something, or like they got to at least, if they're going here, they got to like go to school or something. Like it was like there was so many more reasonable takes that these people have. It's like the funniest thing is like it's just hilarious, because the only reason why people like, or the main reason why a lot of regular people don't like right-wing media right now, it like right-wing extreme, like, or right-wing like media in general, is because it's a bunch of fucking extremist ass, like Gamergate like assholes that have never fucking stepped a foot outside and touched grass, and if they have stepped a foot outside, it's always
I'm a
with
fairly
other
left-wing guy, but I still at least agree with some right-wing takes on immigration.
Yeah, honestly. Well, like, the irony is, you want to know what's really funny? With, like, I genuinely, like, you could call this right-wing, because, like, with immigration, with immigration, with Somalians come, because a lot of immigration, Somalians are coming in right now, right?
I do think
like,
immigrants should pass an English test, yet my brother's wife doesn't speak English at all.
Yeah, like, people from, what do you call it? Like, people from Africa are coming here now, right? Instead of, like, Mexico. And it's a lot of Somalian people, right? And the irony is, I'm gonna sound like probably one of these fucking like Republican right-wing.
However, MAGA just hates everyone that isn't white.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm not fucking MAGA, right? Like, so sorry. Let me give my take on the fucking immigration thing, and then I'll go back to the MAGA thing. Yeah, no, it's like with immigration, I genuinely don't think that really Somalians have much to really give here, or not even the fact that they'll be very useful, right? But I just don't think I want them here, because I want public transportation to be a thing, because Somalians, their useful skill is working on cars. They're very good with automotive vehicles, which obviously is very good for America, because of because we're in a fucking car economy. But I don't really want, we're in a time zone where like cars are being or cars are shit, and gas is like shit, and fucking, and like insurance is awful and shit. So it's like, and the problem is, I have a feeling if Somalian immigrants come in, it's just gonna be like, we're gonna have this problem where people are gonna like fucking do some crazy shit, and like, it's just, I already see what's gonna happen. A bunch of like Somalian immigrants are gonna come in, and they're going to work these automotive jobs, and then all these people are gonna be bitching about like these Somalians that have real useful like automotive skills, and then not to mention they're gonna be bitching about the fact that maybe they don't do as good of a job as like somebody that went to like a college.
But my family would be better if she never immigrated here.
Let's see. Yeah, my brother's wife has nothing really to give to the country. This is gonna be brutal to say, but my family would be better if she never immigrated here. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. It's just like, it sucks, because like it just, there is a genuine discussion about immigration, right? It's just the fucking problem is everybody doesn't want to fucking be on the side of like extremist right-wing assholes. It's simple as that. Like immigration, genuine like human rights, and like amendments, and like anything that involves anything that involves minorities. There is a genuine discussion to have here. Like the whole DEI like fucking policy things, it didn't need a full like abolishment. It just needed an overhaul, because there's some like biasness, like where Asians had to where it had to be like where fucking Asians for some odd reason had like this really high expectation where they had to get like higher than most like people like that, had to get higher than most people in college. That seems a little strange. Or like or maybe there's like certain policies where it's like, yeah, like Hispanic people got like a little bit more of an advantage of getting a job, but they were also Americans as well, so it's like it feels weird. But like then there was also trying to think of like what else, obviously there was like protections for people. It's just like, I get it, but at the same fucking time, there's like, yes, there was also problems where it's like,
she
it
doesn't
could
speak
be
English,
racist
has
the
no
other way,
qualifications for a job,
right?
and just barely made it through the legal system. Except I don't think we should have the frozen water cubes raiding streets out of nowhere and lock immigrants up in prisons.
She doesn't speak English, has no qualifications for a job, and just barely made it through the legal system. Except I don't think we should have the frozen water cubes raiding streets. Yeah, no, straight up, dude. Yeah. Like out of nowhere and lock up immigrants. Yeah. It's called being human. That's the irony. It's like the fucking craziest thing is people just genuinely are fine with people like barging into people's homes and just like taking people and throwing them in a fucking camp. I'm like, bro, that's a concentration camp. It's like, oh, well, they're taking people and throwing them in an Amazon warehouse. And then, like, the fucking plumbing and all that shit is, like, fucking terrible, obviously, and, like, bedding and shit. It's like, that's a concentration camp. Like, fuck off. At least send them back to where that, like, at least, like, if they are an illegal immigrant and they're not here legally, then send them back home. Don't fucking put them in a goddamn concentration camp. That's, like, so fucking like, the fact that we even have to have a discussion about this shit.
I'm back for some reason,
like,
gotta say. Furries are cute. Bro, why? Like, that sauna thing of yours is cute. Dude looks like he likes Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy is peak BTW.
I appreciate it, Keiko. Sure. Thank you. Anyway, oh, what did you call it? Anyway, yeah, no, it's just like the simple fact that we fucking are throwing people and fucking are throwing people, like, not we, but fucking, you know, cold cubes are throwing fucking people in fucking camps is just like, that's just concentration camps, dude. And like that's just not okay. Straight up. Like, that is just a concentration camp. The fact that we have to have a discussion about something that we have been discussing for fucking years, like the thing that we have been talking about, like where concentration camps are literally like, where concentration camps like were the worst fucking thing in human history that should never happen again, is happening again.
Also, you're
Like,
cool dude,
that-
I think. I don't know, I like these streams.
Also, you're cool, dude, I think. I don't know. I like these streams. I appreciate it, Kabeko, but I am not cool. I appreciate that, though. Yeah, dude, it's just like fucking throwing these people in a prison is not like, or not a prison, throwing these people in a fucking, like, families that have done fucking nothing in a goddamn camp is just like, it's inhumane. It's inhumane as hell. And it's like the fact that our country is this inhuman is just awful. Like, that's not okay. Like, it's like, it was already pretty bad when you're just sending someone back, like, you know, high and dry with fucking nothing, like, back to their country, but at least you sent them back home. At least you sent them back home, and they at least, like, you know, or at least you sent them back into, like, a place that they're familiar with. Like, at the very least, I mean, you know, obviously there's still some fucking, a lot of racist shit where they just assumed a fucking, you know, where they assume, like, where somebody has been in, like, the U.S. for, like, you know, X amount of years, and then still sent them back anyway. That obviously was fucked. But at the very fucking least, man, at the very least, like, you know, worst case scenario, close the border if you have to. Okay, fine, whatever, right? Close the border, no more immigrants allowed, fine, period, done. Okay, whatever. It sounds bad, but at the very least, nobody's going in, nobody's going out. Like, nobody's going in, right? Okay, fair enough. It may be a problem, but, like, sure, whatever, dude. Like, okay, sure. That's fine, I guess. People kind of make it a huge deal, but again, if the people live here and they're, like, and they get all their documentation, close the border, and you deal with all the fucking legal paperwork and shit and have to deal with, like, the legal system because, unfortunately, yes, Biden just completely opened the borders and just, like, let anybody in with, like, a fucking green card, and then it took, like, fucking, like, 7 years for someone to, like, process to be able to become an American citizen. That was a problem. Yes, because the courts were being, like, overwhelmed like crazy. Fair enough, right? But we can't just straight up, like, we can't just collect those people and throw them in camps. We know that is just
Okay,
inhumane.
have a good day. Take care, and I don't know.
I appreciate it, Kabeko. You have a great rest of your night. Yeah, dude, we just can't fucking do that shit. Like, it's like it's not a discussion anymore. It's inhumane, and it's like it's inhumane. That's just it. Period. It's inhumane. It's like we know that this is a fucking problem, but people act like, but somehow half of our
That is us fucking up. Don't round them up and put them in camps.
yeah. Like, what do you call it? That is us fucking up, and don't round them up
US.
and put them in camps. Exactly, dude. Yes, it's our, like, it's the United States fucking, like, fault, right? That it was, like, open, right? But again, it's like I said, worst case scenario, fine. Close it completely. Close the border. Don't let anybody else in. Fine. I don't, like, by that point, sounds fucked up, but again, whatever. Right? Sounds fucked up, but, maybe even put if you have to, even put, like, a restriction on it and be like, okay, you can't come in here unless you're, like, a doctor. Like, there you go. Like, worst case scenario, like, best case scenario, you put, like, a fucking, only maybe doctors can come in. Sounds weird, but, whatever. It's like, you have to have a degree to come in here. Sure, why not? Right? But, like, just, like, rounding up people and throwing them into a camp is Nazi shit. It is Nazi shit. It is just undeniably Nazi shit. Because guess who else fucking rounded up people, took them out of their homes, and threw them in camps? Nazis. I do not believe that they are not, like, I cannot fucking sit here and believe that they are just not, like, inhumanely, imprisoning these people and having them work, like, crazy labor and starving them. Like, if you have people just randomly being thrown in these camps, Americans are gonna assume the worst. Like, we're gonna assume the worst. We're gonna assume that they're gonna do the same shit that they did, like, that the Nazis did. You can't do that anymore. You can't just throw people in a camp anymore. Like, that is, like, you just can't do that. Period. Don't matter what it is. Like, you can't do that shit anymore. You can't just round up a bunch of people and throw them in a camp. Like, damn well, like, people already assume the fucking worst. And that's the problem, is our assumption could be pretty valid because of the very fucking inhumane people that we have, as our leadership. So it's like, even if it's not happening at all, you don't do that. It doesn't matter what the intentions are. It doesn't matter even if you have the best intentions, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking water park, It doesn't matter if it's like a fun little water park that people are just having fun in. I don't give a shit. You don't throw people in camps. You don't throw people in camps forcibly. Straight up. It's Nazi shit. It just is. And anybody that says that it's not is just fucking wrong. This isn't an opinion-based thing. Like, the simple fact, it's not an opinion-based thing. It's fact. I'm so tired of sitting here pretending like this is like a debate. Like, people that, like, just say, like, these Gamergate fuckers that act like this is a debate. It's not a debate. It's not an opinion piece. It's a fact. Like I said, worst case scenario, like, if you send people back to their country, fine. Even though there's obviously a lot of complications and a lot of problems there, at the very fucking least, that's more humane.
I do
than
support stronger
throwing
immigration
them in a
control,
camp.
but I too don't support locking them up like this.
What do I call it? I do support stronger immigration control, but I too don't support locking them up like this. Well, I don't remember if you said you were in you said you were in New York, right? Yeah, so, yeah. I do too, honestly. Like I said, I do genuinely think that, like, if the border was fully closed, fine, but, like, but when it comes to, like, when it comes to people, when it comes to the people that are already here, and I know I keep repeating this, but it's not like a discussion. It's not a discussion. Don't throw people in camps. It's just, like, you don't throw people in camps. I don't care if you don't think that. I don't care if people, like, they have, like, okay intentions and these people are being taken care of. I don't fucking care. Don't throw them in a camp. It's like,
There's no benefit we get for keeping
assume
illegal
the
immigrants in
worst.
prisons or camps.
What do you call it? There's no benefit we get for keeping illegal immigrants in prisons or camps. Oh, 1000%. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the irony is, you're right, we don't. But guess who fucking does? Fucking corporations that sell fucking weapons. That's the fucking problem. The main thing that, because like now that people know that these people are in camps, they just assume the worst. They assume that, like, you know, we're gonna assume the worst. We're gonna assume that these people are being starved to death by, like, and making weapons while their children tinker away with like fucking bombs and shit. I don't know, dude. It's like, I'm like, I just am gonna assume the worst of the worst. I don't want human beings being thrown in like prisons. But here's the fucking problem. It's like, here's the scariest part about it too. It's like, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just the fact that, you know, not only fucking immigrant, like, because like I said, like, and if you want to be the fact that's like, oh, well, you know, it's probably not like they're gonna do, like, they're not doing anybody else. Bullshit, dude. It's like, it's bullshit. Like, that's bullshit, because guess what? First it's immigrants, then first it's immigrant, like, it's the Hispanic immigrants, obviously. It's never fucking anybody else. First it's the immigrants, then it's like the people that are just Hispanic that look like immigrants. Then it's gonna be the people, like, then it's gonna be the people that are just speaking, like, that can speak Spanish and English, and then they get thrown in. And then it's like, you know, then it's the gay people, then it's the black people, or sorry, let me dial it back. Sorry, immigrants, the Hispanic people, like the Hispanic people that were born here, and then the Hispanic people that were also born here that were, like, you know, spoke Spanish and English. Then they were like, you know,
Like in WW2.
yeah. And then and then it's like, yeah, just like World War II, right? Then it will be the trans people, then it will be the gay people, then it will be the, you know, then it will be the black people, then it will be the, it's like, or sorry, then it will be the natives first, and then the black people, and then it will be, you know, and then it'll be anybody that fucking is a dissident of the regime. Anybody that thinks any other opinion other than being like a fucking loyalty cuck like North Korea, dude. Like, it's like, it's simple. It's a very simple thing, man. It starts with you give them a foot, they'll go with a mile, right? You know, like, it just is very, very
First They Came by Martin
simple.
Niemöller quite literally explains it.
First They Came by Martin Niemöller quite literally explains it. Exactly, dude. It's just, you know, it starts small and it gets far worse. It's a poem. Good to know. I did not know. I have heard of First They Came, but I did not realize I've actually maybe never read it. Let me actually look at it. Oh, what? Sounds familiar. Let's see. Let's see if I've read this before. I probably have, but let's find out. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Here it is. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out, because I was a socialist, or because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out, because I was a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. Yeah, exactly, dude. Straight up. No, that's, yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. If you don't defend each other, then who do you have? You know? That's the irony. This is like, you know, I may, you know, like I said, I may be, like, I am a minority too. And if, like I said, like, this is the reason why I heavily defend the trans community, and I will never budge on that shit. Because if they, you know, because again, you know, worst case, if I'm even thinking selfishly, which I'm not, but if I'm thinking selfishly and inhumanely, if they come for the trans people, and they fucking, you know, like I said, our fucking stupid ass goddamn, like, government is trying to do that shit where they're trying to literally kill them. It's like, if they come, you know, if they don't fucking, you know, if they fucking come for the trans people, guess who they're coming for next? You know, if they come for the Hispanic, you know, if they come for the guy that speaks Spanish, like Julio that speaks Spanish over here. Sorry, that's racist to call him Julio or whatever. But, you know, if fucking, I don't want to give a real name that a person I know. Let's say Edison, that's somebody's real name, but let's say Edison, you know, let's say if Edison, you know, gets fucking, you know, attacked for speaking Spanish, you know, and I don't defend his ass, guess who's not going to be there to help me? Edison, you know? It's like, it's the simple thing of you scratch my back, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, you know? It's like, this is the one thing that is at least good about being a minority, is the simple fact that you can understand, you know, everything. I literally look at there's a lot of people that, like, a lot of videos that I've been getting, like, on my, like, media feed, and I've been getting this for a while, but it's like, you know, a lot of, like, I've been keeping in touch with the black community because of the simple fact that, like, I know that's who they're coming, like, you know, after they come for me, they're gonna come for the black people, dude. They're gonna come for anybody that's black. They already took away the civil rights movement, or civil rights, they took away the Voting Rights Act, dude. Like, you know, civil rights, like, act, it's just, they took the shit away, dude. It's like, if I am not defending people, like, if I am not defending other minorities, guess who's not going to defend me? It's like, guess who's, like, they're not going to be there, right? You know, like, it's just that simple, dude. It's like, minorities defend each other. It's simple as that. You know, we may be in the
Twitch ad.
minority, but damn it, fucking Twitch ad. Actually, BRB for a second. Just grab some water.
Add over.
Hold on, sorry. I'm gonna take a piss too. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. I am back. Yeah, no, man. I mean, like, it's just, like, it's so ironic because, like, this is the one thing. Sorry, I'm gonna bring up fucking. This is the reason why I fucking call Phantom Neo-Nazi because, like, the dude only cares about himself, right? And the one thing I have to, like, at least tell, like, the one thing I always have to say is, like, you know, if you're not there to help other people, why would they help you when you need help? Yeah, exactly, right? You know, it's one of those things of, like, you know, if you're not there to help someone else, or you don't help someone else when they need help, why would they help you when you need help? You know, simple as that. You know, why would that happen? You gotta at least be a little selfless sometimes. That's called being human. It doesn't matter, like, who it is, right? You gotta connect with people somehow and help them out whenever they need it, because if you connect with people like that, you know, being a good person has its rewards. It's called community. You know, I get that you shouldn't be doing stuff just for the reward, but, you know, why not sometimes, you know? And that's the thing, is Phantom Neo-Nazi, you know, is going to fucking, you know, he's going to shoot himself in the foot. He's going to have, like, because compared to my audience, let me bring this up. You know, compared to you guys are artists, or musicians, or, you know, literally I have like a real life superhero in the chat, right? Like, or that usually show up in chat all the time, right? And I have many, like, I have many talented people, and even people that, you know, have a lot of other, you know, other jobs, right? It's like, I am here to support y'all, and y'all are here to support me. That is the point, right? You know, that is called community. Phantom Neo-Nazi has fans. I have community. And this is the difference, right? I'm not acting like, and I didn't do this by myself, right? I did this because of you. It's like, I'm here because of you guys. So it's like and again, even on like my fucking Twitter, it may be full of like, again, my Twitter is full of so much like anti-AI shit, but it's like I'm literally following, liking, and retweeting a shitload of other artists and giving them engagement. And guess what they're doing? They're retweeting, liking, and following me on my Twitter and my Blue Sky. The genuine, like, there's genuine community with people, right? Gamergate people don't have that. They have people that hate each other or they have people that hate everything and connect by hating shit. Connect by being angry. Connect by hurting people. Connect by, like, they talk to each other, they collab with each other, but they will gladly fuck over each other the best they can. You know? They will gladly step on each other to be able to get more famous, right? To make more money, to do whatever they want, right? Isolating themselves and only sticking with other chronically online people that basically also hurt each other. Their thing is falling, like, MAGA stuff is falling apart because they don't help each other. And they clearly shot themselves in the foot and only argue with each other 24/7, while everybody else comes together to help each other the best they can. You know, I've donated to people that have, like, had been in hard times before, you know. It's like, I've been in these communities before, and I've genuinely talked to people, and I'm still, like, you know, part of that onion, like, community, right? Like, it's not the onion that you're thinking of, but that, like, a neo.club thing. You know, I still go to that chat, like, frequently just to talk to people. Community is important, and if you don't have people that, you know, you don't have community and you don't have people that genuinely talk to each other and genuinely support each other, you know, what's the point, right? You know, people wonder how certain people get famous and collab with all these, like, big creators and get all this following and everything. And it's genuinely because some people follow, like, a lot of people will subscribe to channels that just have people that are open and friendly to each other, you know? I know that a lot of that is, like, pretty dead on YouTube, but, like, you know, that's how it used to work. You used to just talk to people and, like, connect with people, and then you talk to each other and help each other out, you know? People act like that's dead, and yeah, sure, corporations try to make sure that you can't do that, but doesn't mean you can't try, you know? So. Yeah, I don't know, man. So, who knows, man? Who knows? Well, who knows? I'm like, you know, here's the thing. These types of, how do you say it? These types of, like, giant fucking, like, dictatorship, like, fucking Nazi shit doesn't really last that long, to be honest. It's
Add one to the counter.
Add one to the counter. Did I? Oh shit. Like, this type of rhetoric just doesn't last, right? Because people tend to, like, how do you say it? People tend to not, how do I say it? That kind of thing doesn't last, right? Like, you'll have just tons, if you have tons of people, I'll just stab you in the back, and that's what you call a community. And, you know, go for it, but, you know, I don't know. I just genuinely think that, like, you know, like I said, when I look at y'all's art all the time, And I like, when I look at y'all's art all the time and I look at like the links and shit, I genuinely do mean like commission each other on that fucking Discord. Like if any of you guys are artists and you see anybody that genuinely has good artwork, and you want to commission them, go for it. That's what that Discord's for. I even have the stowed as well, but again, it's literally to, help each other out. So, I'm not trying to sit here fucking. That's why I don't ask for money here, because genuinely I don't really care about the money. I just care about the community. So, I mean, I would like to in the future, but that's not realistic. So, anyway, I don't know. Just I care about the old internet, and a piece of it is still alive, and if I can still keep it alive here, then I'm okay with that, so. Okay, I am going to end the stream for today. I probably won't stream tomorrow. Very high chance I won't, because unfortunately I work morning time on Sundays. So hopefully, I'll have energy to stream on Sunday, but that can just not end up being a thing. But
Sorry if I'm not talking as much. I'm flip-flopping between stream lurking.
You're good.
Damn.
Damn what? What are you saying damn for?
You ending stream.
I might. Are y'all okay if I end stream, or I don't know, both of y'all seem pretty bummed out about it. Really, I mean, I really don't want to go for another 30 minutes, but I might. If that's really what y'all want, so. I don't know if I can.
I'm not bummed out about you ending stream, just indifferent.
Indifferent? Oh no. Indifferent?
Ugh, I need to sleep or my wife is gonna yell at me about, you need to sleep cuz you're preg, or SMTH.
Oh shit, you're pregnant? Oh no. Well, not oh no, but oh. I did not know that. Not oh no, I shouldn't have said oh no. Jeez, sorry. Like, yeah. Oh my goodness. I did not know that. Congratulations. I didn't even know one of y'all was pregnant.
Did she not tell you?
No, she did not. I mean, it's kind of a personal thing, so, I didn't want to, obviously I wouldn't, fucking intrude, I mean, that's y'all's business, but, yeah, congratulations. Shoot.
Fair but still. Well, I didn't know June was preggers.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. Congratulations, I guess. Dang.
Thanks, lol.
Y'all are gonna be parents. My goodness. Wow. Alright. That's a very happy thing.
JJ, but yeah.
JJ, but yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. Wow. Wow. Wow, you're, how do you say it? Yeah, you're gonna, what do you call it? That is great.
June literally doesn't have a uterus, lol. Thinking of filler stuff to do. Do you want to review some art from a friend of mine? He's looking for some more notoriety.
Sure, why not? I love looking at art. Why not? Y'all know how I feel about art. Fucking love it. I guess I'll look at it real quick and then we'll end stream, but yeah. Dang. I didn't even know you, like, this is crazy that you're preggers.
Okay, I submitted his art into the art channel.
Sweet.
And we tried last year, but things fell through with a miscarriage and shit.
Oh no. Tried last year, but things fell through with the miscarriage and shit. Oh my god, I'm sorry that you had a miscarriage too. Let's see. Oh, nice. Oh, that's neat. I've what do you call it? I usually like these this 90s style. That's really neat. Yeah, I love styles like this. Hmm. Damn, did they make this in hold on. Did they did they make this in MS Paint too? God damn, how does it look so good for MS Paint? It actually looks pretty decent. What the hell? Like there's like even like shading and everything. What the fuck? How did you guys make it look so good in MS Paint? How'd you make it look so, or how'd they make it look so good in MS Paint? God damn. It's fucking crazy.
He also has some art that includes an OC of mine that he made for March 10th Mario Day.
Dang. I'm just like so surprised that they were able to like, they're even able to do this in MS Paint. The gruesome just like, it just looks pretty good, man. Like the smoke and everything. Just nice attention to detail. Also has some art that includes an OC of mine that you made. For Mario 10 Day. Nice. Sweet. Let me see it. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cute.
I submitted that in the art channel too.
That's cute. I like it. Did you hand draw this block? Or it's like this is like some nice like edges right here. Damn. Fuck. Miller like draw better in MS Paint than I draw, period. This is cute. I like it.
He drew it all. I had no part. I'm just giving him some brotherly love.
Hell yeah. Glad to hear it, honestly. Uh anyway.
Okay, well, I'm heading to bed cause I can't handle June being pissed with me, GN.
Handle June. Alright, you have a good night. You have a good night, JJ. Appreciate it coming on the stream for a bit. You know. Not literally, of course. Anyway. Sec. Give me one moment, sorry. Oh shit. Hold on. Huh.